Doya Koro Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Doya Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Nityananda Prabhu Nityananda Devananda Loke Prabhu Nityananda Devananda Loke
I bow down to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who is the awarder of the highest joy of all, the bestower of the holy name, and the crest jewel of all Paramahamsa mendicants. Nityananda Namaste Karnayamritamatikum Caitanya Prajarupena Savitri-kr-bhutaram. Salutations to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who has a single pearl suspended from one of his ears, who is the elder brother of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and who is the purifier of the world. Te charana chintileya padmahiyar, te kshane kotiya paradiraho nishtam. By meditating on his lotus feet, even one who has committed millions of offenses is immediately delivered from all difficulties. Nityananda, little resolution. We're going to chant this verse together. If you kindly repeat. I'm sorry I don't have the word for word here, I don't know why. Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityānanda.
Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jaya Nitānanda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta-vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta-vrinda.
Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta-vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta-vrinda.
Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta-vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora
Mataji's.
Samsara
translation and purport by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. This is from the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Adi-kanda 17.153. The translations by others, but the actual purport is translated to Bengali, then translated to English. The original was by Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, then translated into English. Anyone who wants to cross the material ocean and merge in the ocean of devotional service must worship the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. I don't know if anyone wants to do that. Sounds a bit dangerous to me. Merge, cross over oceans. The purport Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. Nityananda Prabhu is the master of the transcendental kingdom. One who is conditioned by material existence cannot serve him with his gross or subtle bodies. But if, by the causeless mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, one is freed from the desire for material enjoyment. In other words, freed from the conceptions of I and mine, related with the gross and subtle bodies, and one hankers to emerge in the ocean of service to the absolute truth, then he should simply serve Nityananda Prabhu with his body, mind, and speech. If one who is bound by the ropes of material existence mistakenly accepts the muddy, poisonous canal of non-devotion in the form of material enjoyment and pseudo-renunciation as the ocean of devotional service, he can never serve Lord Nityananda, because Nityananda's Swarup is the personified manifestation of Sri Caitanya. The imaginary insignificant object that the Prakrita Sahajiyas, the pseudo-devotees and the non-devotee communities misidentify as Guru, while considering the transcendental Guru Tattva, is not Nityananda's Swarup. Now, we won't have time. We were going to sing some bhajans, but if you want to join us in singing Nityananda bhajans, then we have to come to Shyamananda's house. We'll sing them there. And this evening, Krsna, Lord Nityananda allowing, if he so desires, we'll have another presentation, PowerPoint presentation, a big one, on the life of Lord Nityananda. Brief, of course, it's unlimited. This morning, we're going to read now from Chaitanya-ācārya, and this will be from the Adi Lila, chapter 5. This chapter particularly is establishing the truth of Lord Nityananda. He's, generally speaking, not known. His identity, even his purpose, is even amongst many claiming followers of Gaudiya line. There have been some who have misunderstood the position of Nityananda Prabhu. And it's interesting in this 5th chapter that Krishna Das Kaviraj spends the predominant and say time or effort to explain clearly the position of Lord Nityananda. And one would have to read the whole chapter to get the full gamut of the explanation, but we'll briefly summarize this because our time is limited. We'll do what we can. And then we'll see if we have time to sing any bhajan at the end. Vande Nanta Bhutaishvaryam Shri Nityanandam Ishvaram Yasyecha Tatsvarupam Agenapi Nirupyate. Let me offer my obeisances to Lord Sri Nityananda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose opulence is wonderful and unlimited. By his will, even a fool can understand his identity. Now, Kaviraj Goswami says he's now going to explain in 5 verses the glory of Lord Nityananda. Now, those 5 verses are found in the first chapter also, and he expands on those 5 verses. I'll just recap them as we're going to look a little bit. I know what do I know? I know nothing. A little bit we can repeat from Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami here from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is text 7 through to about 11. Sankarshana karana toya shahi avoda shahi cha prayogdi shahi sheshascha jasyam sakalasa nitya nandakirama sharanam mamastu. May Sri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshan, Sheshanaga and the Vishnus, who lie on the Karana ocean, Garbha ocean, ocean of milk, are his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portions. Maya tite vyapi vaikuntaloke punaishvarye shri tatodhyuha madhye upam yashodvati sankarsanakyam tam shri nityananda ramam prapadye. I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, who is known as Shankarshan, in the midst of the Chaturyuga, consisting of Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. He possesses full opulences and resides in Vaikuntha Loka, far beyond the mature creation. Maya Vatajanda Sangashayangha Shete Shakshatkaranam Bodhi Madhye Yasyaikam Skakshri Puman Adidevas Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. I offer my full obeisances under the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose partial representation called Karandakshayi Vishnu, lying on the Karana ocean, is the original Purush, the master of the illusory energy and the shelters of all the universes. Yasyang shangsha shila garbhodashayi Yamnadyachang loka sangatanalam Loka shashtu sutika dhamadatus Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, a partial part of whom is Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. From the navel of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu sprouts the lotus that is the birthplace of Brahman, the engineer of the universe. The stem of that lotus is the resting place of the multitude of planets. Yasyang shang shang shaparatma kilanam pushta Vishnu bhati dugdadishai Shoni vatayat kalasopyanantas Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose secondary part is the Vishnu, lying in the ocean of milk. That Kshirodakshai Vishnu is the super soul of all living entities and the maintainer of all the universes. Sheshanaga is his further subpart. Those are the 5 invocatory verses offering their obeisances to Lord Nityananda, which establish in a nutshell something about the tattva of Lord Nityananda. As you may well be aware, Nityananda is Lord Balaram. He is not an expansion of Lord Balaram. He is Lord Balaram himself. And from Lord Balaram, as is explained in this time, this is Lord Balaram, from Lord Balaram expansions come, or we could say from Lord Nityananda. This has a different pastime. But otherwise it's the same, no difference. When Lord Balaram expand the Chaturvyuha, and then the Vaikuntha, Narayana expansions, further Chaturvyuha, and then from Sankarshan comes the Purusha avatars. He's also Anantashesh, expands from Lord Balaram as the support of the Lord's pastimes, the foundation of the pastimes in the form of the abode of the Lord and the various paraphernalia therein, the Lord's couch, his fan, everything, for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, to support his particular pastimes. Andini Shakti expands in this way to provide all the facilities for the Lord's pleasure pastimes. This all comes from Lord Nityananda. He is the, you can say, the reservoir of pleasure, and that's why he's the Adi Guru. He's known in our line as the Adi Guru, the original Guru, who is the manifestation, you can say, of pleasure for Krishna, giving pleasure, Nityananda, eternal reservoir of bliss. But the practical, the active factor of that is that he's always existing for the pleasure of Mahaprabhu or Lord Shri Krishna. This particular expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is non-different than Krishna in one sense, but nonetheless in different color, and in some senses a different role. But he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and manifesting in this case the perfection of complete pure devotional service, how to serve Krishna in the role of a servant in a most perfect way. So that's the nature of the Guru. He teaches how to serve Krishna. That's the business, that's what the Guru is doing. He's simply teaching Krishna's parts and parcels how to again serve their Lord and Master, Lord Shri Krishna, in the most pleasing way, by his own personal example and his personal teachings, or the teachings coming down from Adi Guru Nityananda Prabhu through the Parampara succession. So he's the original Guru, and it is said, we may have read it just now, I can't remember, that it is through, Nityananda is the gateway. It's described, he is the gateway through which devotional service is accepted. Srimati Radharani in the internal circle, of course, is the, you can say, she's the media, she's the ultimate media of service to the Lord. But in order to get to that platform, to achieve that, one has to get the mercy of Lord Nityananda. He's the gateway to the worship of Radha and Krishna, even in our present situation. In other words, it's by going through the Guru that one is able to worship the deity. We're not qualified. It's by mercy of the Guru that we're able to properly serve the holy name. It's by the mercy of the Guru that we can come to Shuddhanam, which ultimately means by the mercy of Nityananda Ram, that one is able to actually approach Radha and Krishna in their sound vibration of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We have to pray to Lord Nityananda, pray to the representatives of Lord Nityananda for their mercy. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati explains that this is actually the gateway. Service to the Guru is the gateway to Shuddhanam. And that service to the Guru means one invokes the mercy of Nityananda. And one who gets the mercy of Nityananda becomes freed of all anarthas. When anarthas are gone, that's not enough. That's just, we can say, a neutral stage. But by the mercy of Nityananda, one's natural or one's adornment, affectionate, loving relationship or affection towards Krishna is awoken. Nityananda's mercy. And then there's no question of, let's say, returning or again becoming inclined towards the material or Maya, towards the material energy. Nityananda is so kindly in this material world with this ocean of material suffering, ocean of illusion, ocean of birth and death, etc., etc. Lord Nityananda is described, Prabhupada describes this in his Ashtakam prayers, which he poem, which he compiled. Lord Nityananda has cut a canal in this world, and that canal is deluging the material world with love of God, with prema. This is Lord Nityananda who has brought this flood of prema into this material darkness, this material ocean. I'm going to read now something very interesting. Okay, one or two things here. Ekai swarupadone binā adyakaya vyuha Krishna lila rasahai. They are both one and the same identity. This is Lord Caitanya and Lord Nityananda, or Krishna and Balaram. They differ only in form. He is the first bodily expansion of Krishna, and he assists in Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes. The original Lord Krishna appeared in Navadvip as Lord Caitanya, and Balaram appeared with him as Lord Nityananda. And we already mentioned, not only are all the, let's say, the Purusha forms of the Lord, the creative forms of the Lord, the sustaining forms of the Lord, that which is sustained, or let's say that which facilitates the pastimes, but the actual Jiva Tattva also emanates from Lord Nityananda. He's the source of all these various emanations. He's quite an important personality, to say the least, unknown to others. Now we're going to, let's see, we're going to jump forward a little bit. You have to read the whole chapter. It's quite, let's say, complex. Yes. Nityananda mahima sindhu ananta apara ekakana sparshi matra se kripa tanhar. Śrī Caitanya se Krishna Nityananda Ram Nityananda Purnakare Caitanya Rakam. Lord Caitanya is the same Lord Krishna, and Lord Nityananda is Lord Balaram. Lord Nityananda fulfills all of Lord Caitanya's desires. Nityananda Mahima. The ocean of Lord Nityananda's glory is infinite and unfathomable. Only by his mercy can I touch even a drop of it. Ulasa upalile kon tomā prasad Nityananda Prabhu mora kshama aparad. O Lord Nityananda, I write of your mercy out of great exultation. Please forgive me of my offenses. And now Krishna's Trayodashi Goswami tells a very interesting pastime about how one of the primary followers of Lord Nityananda, his name is Mini Caitanya Ramdas. You may have heard of the name. He was, materially speaking, you could say somewhat eccentric. But anyway, he came one day to the house of Krishnadas Kaviraj. And he was in a very joyful mood. He climbed on the shoulder of someone, offering obeisances. Sometimes he struck others with his flute, or he mildly slapped them. Just by seeing the eyes of Mini Caitanya Ramdas, tears would automatically flow from the person who saw it in their own eyes. And also tears constantly flowed from the eyes of Mini Caitanya Ramdas. Eruptions, ecstatic eruptions. Sometimes he'd roar loudly the name of Nityananda. Everyone was astonished. But there was one respectable Brahmana there named Gunanava Mishra, who was the Pujari serving the deity. And he did not offer respects to Lord Nityananda. And in this way, Mini Caitanya Ramdas became, rather, he didn't offer respects to Mini Caitanya Ramdas. Mini Caitanya Ramdas became angry. Considering this is another example of the instance of when Lord Balaram entered into the assembly in Naimishrana at Rāmakrishna, did not pay respects. So Nityananda, Mini Caitanya Ramdas left the assembly in anger. Actually, first of all, he danced in ecstasy after saying remembering the pastime in Rāmakrishna's Sutta, Lord Balaram. Mini Caitanya Ramdas danced in ecstasy. At the same time, at the end of the festival, this Brahmin, he didn't become angry, he didn't show any reaction. And at the end of the festival, Mini Caitanya Ramdas went away. He offered his blessings to everyone, but there was a controversy which developed. So Krishnadas Kaviraj said, my brother had firm faith in Lord Caitanya, but only a dim glimmer of faith in Lord Nityananda. Knowing this, Śrī Ramdas felt unhappy in his mind. I rebuked my brother. These two brothers, I told him, are like one body. They are identical manifestations. If you do not believe in Lord Nityananda, you will fall down. If you have faith in one, but disrespect the other, your logic is like the logic of accepting half the hen. In other words, you have the hen, Prabhu calls it chicken philosophy. You just want the eggs, but you have to feed the chicken. You think, well, one end is taking the food, the other end is giving the egg. If I cut off the head, I'll just get the egg. It doesn't work. You have to have both. You cannot get Lord Caitanya's mercy without the mercy of Nityananda. It would be better, Kaviraj goes on, to be an atheist by slighting both brothers than a hypocrite by believing in one and slighting the other. And Śrī Ramdas, Mini Caitanya Ramdas broke his flute in anger and went away. Immediately, Kaviraj Goswami, his brother, fell down. And now he's going to describe another incident. In other words, it's only by the mercy of Lord Nityananda that we have the strength, just like the mercy of Lord Balaram, the strength to engage in devotional service, to protect us from the onslaught of this mind full of material desires and so on. And he describes a very interesting, beautiful description. That where Krishnadas Kaviraj, when he was dreaming one night, he said, Lord Nityananda appeared to me in a dream. I fell at his feet offering my obeisances, and then he placed his own lotus feet upon my head. Arise, get up, he told me again and again. Upon rising, I was greatly astonished to see his beauty. He had a glossy, blackish complexion, and his tall, strong, heroic stature made him seem like Cupid himself. He had beautifully formed hands, arms, and legs, and eyes like lotus flowers. He wore a silk cloth with a silk turban on his head. He wore golden earrings on his ears, and golden armlets and bangles. He wore tinkling anklets on his feet, and a garland of flowers around his neck. His body was anointed with sandalwood pulp, and he was nicely decorated with tilak. His movements surpassed those of a maddened elephant. His face was more beautiful than millions upon millions of moons, and his teeth were like pomegranate seeds because of his chewing betel. His body moved to and fro, right and left, for he was absorbed in ecstasy. He chanted, Krishna, Krishna, in a deep voice. His red stick moving in his hand, he seemed like a maddened lion. All around the four sides of his feet were bumblebees. His devotees, dressed like cowherd boys, surrounded his feet like so many bees, and also chanted, Krishna, Krishna, absorbed in ecstatic love. Some of them played horns and flutes, others danced and sang. Some of them offered betel nuts, and others waved chamara fans about him. Thus I saw such opulence in Lord Nityananda's Swarup. His wonderful form, qualities and pastimes are all transcendental. I was overwhelmed with transcendental ecstasy, not knowing anything else. Then Lord Nityananda smiled and spoke to me as follows. Oh my dear Krishnadas, do not be afraid. Go to Vrindavan, for there you will attain all things. After saying this, he directed me toward Vrindavan by waving his hand. Then he disappeared with his associates. I fainted and fell to the ground. My dream broke, and when I regained consciousness, I saw that it was the morning. And this again is another indication that Lord Nityananda's business and the business of all devotees, especially those acting in the role of guru or teacher, to guide everyone towards Vrindavan. Why? Because Lord Nityananda wants to increase the pleasure of the Lord. He wants to see that Krishna's pleasure increase unlimitedly. And the more living entities who are relocated in Sri Vrindavan Dham in loving devotional service to the Lord, more pleasure the Lord will experience, although He's unlimited. This is the nature of preaching Krishna consciousness. Lord Nityananda is the personification of a preacher, at least in this particular manifest world. He's fulfilling Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu's desire to deliver everyone. He's so merciful. Lord Caitanya wasn't, sometimes he would say, seemingly be quite strict with some, like Kala Krishna Das and others. He was sometimes a little strict. Lord Nityananda has said, even he gave shelter to Kala Krishna Das and others. He didn't discriminate. We hear some of those unique acts of mercy of Lord Nityananda this evening, Krishna willing. But just to mention that he is the perfection of the mood of a preacher. This merciful mood, this compassionate mood of wanting to see all the parts and parts. The real compassion is the Radharani is the compassionate manifestation. She's a compassionate form, the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, because she always wants to see to Krishna's pleasure. Compassion really means for Krishna's pleasure. It's not so much about deliverance of the conditioned souls, that's the external aspect. But the internal is to bring more pleasure to Krishna by connecting the parts and parcels to Krishna. So Nityananda is teaching us how to do that in every respect. A few more verses. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Ram Janhara Pipati-pāvana-hetu Vrindavan. All glory to Lord Nityananda Balaram, by whose mercy I have attained shelter in the transcendental abode of Sri Vrindavan. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Kripa Maya Janahete Paina Rupa Sanatana Shaya. All glory to the merciful Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy I have attained shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatana. You can see like this is by his mercy that we get the opportunity to have Guru and the mercy of Rupa and Sanatana and so on and so forth. Lord Nityananda. Jana Pranadana Nityananda śrī-Caitanya Radha Krishna Bhakti binā Nahi. Lord Caitanya and Lord Nityananda is describing here different devotees in Vrindavan. Are their life and soul. They do not know anything but devotional service to Shri Radha and Krishna. Shri Se Vaishnavdeva Padarenu Tarapadachai Adhamere Dila Prabhu Nityananda Doya. The dust and shade of the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas have been granted to this fallen soul by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda said, if you go to Vrindavan, in Vrindavan all things are possible. Nityananda Prabhu Guna Mahima Par Dasa Vadane Shesha Nahi Payaya. The glories of Lord Nityananda's transcendental attributes are unfathomable. Even Lord Shesha, with his thousands of mouths, cannot find their limit. But Lord Nityananda himself, that Shesha, in that expansion, that form, he's glorifying the Lord. He's glorifying his origin as Nityananda Prabhu. So today on this most auspicious day of Nityananda, Trayodashi, a great opportunity for all of us to pray for Nityananda's mercy, for the strength, to follow in the footsteps of our Gurus, the Prabhupada, and the followers of Srila Prabhupada, and to pray for his mercy, to have the strength to take that message of Krishna consciousness and deliver it to others, as Nityananda did to the most fallen conditioned souls, even rogues and thieves and all kinds of dacoits. So many persons were delivered by the mercy of Nityananda. His mercy is unending, unlimited. Hare Krishna. So this lunchtime, 11 o'clock, at Nityananda's house, we'll sing some bhajans about Lord Nityananda, and then this evening we'll have the slideshow presentation of Lord Nityananda's life, which is very wonderful. Just to hear about Lord Nityananda's pastimes purifies the heart completely. So please take advantage on this day, most important day, practically speaking, in our year. In many ways, it's the appearance day of our Adi Gurus, and by his mercy that we can progress in spiritual life and become free. Prabhupada, or Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj there mentions that by the mercy of Nityananda we can become free of these material desires. And again, we'll sing that song at noontime today, about how the mercy of Lord Nityananda's taking shelter of his lotus feet frees one from all material conditioning and awakens our dormant love for Krishna. Shri Nityananda Ram ki jai, Nityananda Trayodashi ki jai, Gaur Premanandi, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees.